Thank you so much for being here.
Yay,
I'm so glad to have you.
Hey.
Yay. Tell everybody who you are and what company you represent.
My name is Steve Placey, and my company is called Rock Your Business Incorporated, and we do lead generation, sales conversion, and lots of times people just say, we help them get moving. A lot of people are great innovators, so we help them take their ideas and actually put the rubber to the road and actually make things happen for them, which is the only way you progress.
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things that I have found is people, they come up with all these goals and they say they're going to do something, and then they go, stop, and nothing happens, and they don't move forward. And I'm a firm believer of prioritizing because I have thousands of things on my list to do right now, and it's important to not just do a little here and a little bit there, but to really look at what needs to be done, what's the most important, what's going to draw the biggest thing, and what do you need to get out of the way to move forward. But sometimes people have all those things and then they go do this.
Sure.
And they ignore all those things. So what is one of the biggest things that you have found is, with all the entrepreneurs that you worked with and over all these years, what is one of the biggest mistakes they have a tendency of making?
Well, I think it's they get stuck innovating. They get stuck with a lot of ideas. They don't, I have a great saying. I said, it's better to be done than perfect. A lot of people, they'll try to make everything perfect, and what happens is it'll just never get done. And I'll tell you, if you get out there and just start making things happen, get moving. I love what you said earlier about getting help. If you can set that aside, set ego aside, set that aside, and just understand it's just kind of like the first step is self-awareness, that I can't do this by myself, or I shouldn't be doing this by myself. Then you can go out there and get help from good people that can help you move forward. And if that's the first thing, I'm a big, there's a guy out there who calls himself the pit bull of personal development. And he basically says, look, if you're the only person in your business and your business stinks, then, who should we blame? And if people can't get past that first step and say, well, I'm to blame, but I'm going to do something about it, and that's the key part, then there's no one that can help them, ever. So that's really the first step is self-awareness, just like you said, and then take steps to make it happen.
I think that's really important. And when I was a professor at the university, one of my instructors, my senior instructors, said to me, you know what, Kathleen, if you surround yourself with students your whole entire life, you will spend your life teaching, which I love to teach, so that's not a negative thing. Like I cried when I left. But he said, but if you surround yourself with people that are smarter, wiser, and more successful, you'll spend your life learning, and you'll have more to teach. And that taught me something huge. And I will be honest with you, not too long ago I had a meeting with, I was kind of in a situation, I wanted affirmation. I wanted to know that what I was focusing on, where we were going, was what not only God wanted me to do, but what was the right thing to do. So I was thinking about who's the smartest Christian man I know. And I thought of a gentleman by the name of Sam Serto, who's going to be one of our speakers at our Confident Women Conference. I'm super excited about. Men welcome, women required. And I reached out to him. He is the head of the Crummer School of Graduate at Rollins College. He's the head professor, the director of that program, the MBA level program, and he's also an elder at our church. And I thought, okay, can't go wrong there. Rollins is a really good college, and he's the head of the MBA program. And so I brought my profit and loss statement, I brought our business strategy, I brought my concerns, we talked about it. And when you get validation from somebody like that says, you need to keep moving forward, you're doing right, sometimes business people need that. Sometimes you just need to surround yourself with someone that can say, you know what, I like what you're doing, keep moving forward, right? It's
essential. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I've done it for many, many years. I have coaches that I talk to on a monthly basis to make sure I don't lose focus. They can see things that are right under my nose that I just don't see because we're just busy doing things. And I know you have people like that as well, and it's just essential. I mean, if you think, again, put everything else aside, stop running. I posted something the other day that says, there's a big difference between being busy and progressing.
Amen.
And there's a huge difference there. And a lot of people can keep themselves very busy doing things, but they're not moving forward. And it's time to just stop, drop and roll, and just kind of stop for a second, assess, and then get the help where you have some deficiencies. I
love the fact that you just said that, because I see that often too when I'm talking to business people. They're struggling here to make money, so then they're like, well, if I can just do this, I can do this too. And then if I can just do this, then I can do this too. And then before you know it, you're doing all these different things and you're not making money at any of them because you're muddying up your brand, and you just look like someone desperate to make money. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about if they have a product, a skill, or a service, and they feel as though it's viable. They feel as though, hey, this is something I can sell. Maybe they're in a business where they say, I like this product, I want to sell it, I want to promote it, or I'm good at this skill. I have a photography skill that I'm good at, or I have a CPA skill that I'm good at, whatever it is, but they may not have went to school for business. Like, I do this with a lot of doctors and lawyers. Like, they didn't go to school for business, and they're like, no. Kathleen, I'm trying to run my own business, but they didn't teach us business. What do we do? So what are some of the tips or suggestions you would teach those people to implement into their business to help automate some things to make life easier and allow them to do that skill, take pictures, be a doctor, be a lawyer,
sure,
but also be a business owner?
Gotcha. Well, and that's a great question. And one of the biggest things we do for people is we help them automate a lot of things. There's only so many hours in a day. I have children that are 10 and 6, and you have children, and a lot of people out there may have children, and other things that are happening. Life is always happening. So automating lead generation, automating follow-up. If I could leave here with nothing today and teach some people some stuff, is automating your follow-up. A lot of people, they start small businesses, and the way they go and market, since there's not a lot of marketing dollars, they go out to shake hands and kiss babies, you know, and they'll go out and network. They'll maybe do some talks at chambers or groups or WOAMTEC groups, whatever it is. But then where they fail is effective follow-up. They actually say most 95% of people don't do follow-up well, if at all. I mean, you see it. You'll go meet 100 people, and you know a lot of people. They should all follow up with you. How many actually follow up with
Never.
you?
Very
Two, three people. I see this. I'll go to an event with 300 people at it, drop my card, or a trade show, I'll drop my card in every bowl, and maybe I'll hear from 1 or 2 companies. Well, why are you at the show then? Aren't you there to meet people?
No, I want to feel like I'm working, but I don't want to cold
well,
call.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, I honestly don't appreciate cold. I don't like cold calling myself. I don't like getting them, so I don't like doing them. So we've automating your follow-up where you can collect cards, shake hands, kiss babies, but then follow-up is the beginning of opportunity. Because otherwise, those stacks of business cards just sit there. And it's just, could be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in missed opportunity, where if you can create a system where you go in and put their name and email address into this system and follow up with these people with messages that don't look like they're coming from a computer.
Right.
You know, that actually have good educational content, showcasing your knowledge to people.
You know, it's funny because I was just going to ask you, video marketing is something else that I know that you're knowledgeable on, and I think it's huge because people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and you have to become an authoritative figure in your field and in your community. They're not going to hire you as an image consultant if they don't feel confident on your knowledge, and if you don't have the look. You know, that's one of the biggest faux pas I see. You know, yeah, I'm going to help you with your image. I look horrible, but you know, you need to make sure that you're composed and you're put together, but you need to be an authoritative figure. You need to look the part that you're trying to proclaim. What is the best way to become an authoritative figure and to look the part that you're trying to portray? How do you teach people your knowledge?
Well, and some people, well, I do it through video marketing. You know, and I love what Maria said earlier that, you know, I was talking to her earlier and she said, you know, cameras put 10 pounds on you. Well, it puts 50 pounds on me. I'm actually only about 140 pounds. But you know, it's something I deal with in my life. But, you know, see, there's a lot of people doing a lot of what everybody out here does. There's life, whether you're a life coach or you're a CPA, there's thousands of them, and more coming out every day, you know, and there's a lot of fakers out there. We see that, you know, people are becoming business coaches because they read one book about being, you know, a business. So separating yourself by showing your knowledge, you can't fake that. And honestly, since people buy people, you know, you can showcase your energy, your passion. That's what people can see about you right away. You're passionate about what you do, Kathleen, and that's why, you know, me and we have 4-hour lunches.
Hate it. This is
let's go.
Drama,
what are we doing here? It's happy hour, right? Somewhere. So, you know, but showcasing your passion, showcasing your knowledge, showing that you care is gigantic. And you can showcase that in video that you can't showcase that in any other way. We've been doing it for 3 years. It was the #1 thing we've ever done for our business. And honestly, we were really bad at it when we started. I took a 480p camera, not even a high-def camera, back in my backyard. I have a lot of tropical vegetation back there. And I stood in front of this big philodendron that we had back there, and I just started talking and just telling people little bits of knowledge about lead generation and follow-up and business development tips. And in the first year we did it, we can attribute another $100,000 in revenues the first year we did it because of those videos. Because we were showing people what they do. I would get people emailing and calling us just saying, you know what, I saw your video. I love that you're wearing jeans. I love that you're in front of the plants. Not even what I said, but just I liked you. I liked your energy, and bang. And they would call me up. I love what you said. Imagine this as a first call, Kathleen. I love what you said. I know what you do. I just need to figure out how much it's going to cost for you to do it for me.
See,
and that's
awesome.
the first call.
That's so much better than, what is it that you do and how much does it cost? It's different. It's like you're already sold. You already got past that, selling yourself versus selling price. And that's the biggest mistake that people make. I think that, I love that you said that, and I think that getting beyond that is important, getting beyond what everybody else is doing. And so I want to just take a moment and talk about this, because yes, it does make you more approachable when you're outside with flowers in the background, you're wearing jeans, and you look like an approachable person, because you don't want to intimidate people. You don't want to look like somebody that they can't relate to. Or maybe you do, who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you want to be that. Maybe I would hire a Shark Tank to consult with me if I could. I would say, just spend 2 hours with me. Let me pick your brain.
Sure.
So maybe you do. But one of the things that I wanted to say is the more people blog, the more people do video posts, the more they're claiming themselves as expert. I also think, and I want your opinion on this, I also think the more they need to step it up a notch, and you need to be more competitive. You need to look more commercial. You need to blog more commercially. Your materials need to be more commercial, so you always look a step above. Does that make sense? And do you agree with that?
Yeah, not only a step above, but I think a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to fit in when they should be really worried about how they stand out.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And that's something that's I wish I would have made that up. I wish that was my saying. I think that's something I've heard recently, and I love that because it's so true. There's a lot of people doing this mainstream thing. My company's Rock Your Business. Me coming with a 3-piece suit. When I do my videos, this is what I wear. This is what I taught to people. Yes, I wear pants and I wear things, and Maria's going to give me some tips, I'm sure, about doing those things as well. But people can expect that. It's my brand. It's me, and that's the things we teach people. Be your brand. Show people who you are and what you do. If I started doing my videos in a 3-piece suit, and stuff, people would probably be like, well, he got hit in the head with his surfboard again, and what's happened to Steve, So people like that, and showcase yourself. Again, people by people.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Because I know that you share knowledge and you share information. If somebody is wanting to coach, wanting to be a marketing advisor, wanting to train, and they're doing more motivational stuff and less in-depth knowledgeable stuff, like how we were just talking about financing, or how we're talking about marketing and branding and lead generation and true things like that, would you agree that most people that are marketing experts, business advisors, consultants that can coach on an executive level, based upon your CEO coaching that you've done in the past, wouldn't you agree that they're more likely to be willing to share in-depth knowledge rather than sell it up first, because they know they're already going to be successful, and if they help the under guy take a little bit of a step forward, they're going to be more likely to take a bigger step with them? Would you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that 1,000,000%. It's showcasing what you know. See, the best thing, I always talk about testimonials and showing people what you know. Yes, there's also the other end that people say, I just want to do everything for free and the world will come to me. Well, it is great, but you can't pay your bills with smiles.
Right.
You need to be able to make money. It's a matter of, helping these people out. Be honest with these people. I mean, I remember having a conversation with a gentleman that's a multimillionaire, and I'm sitting in my office. He's sitting in one of his 3 or 4 mansions that he has, and I'm telling him things that are just, that other people won't say to him. Mm-hmm. Because I'm being honest with him and telling him things that these yes people won't say to him, and that's what people respect, is that you'll be honest with people. Sometimes people need to hear the hard truth.
Absolutely.
It's okay, and I've never had anybody fire me because of it. So yes, telling people that stuff, showing your knowledge, help people out. In these I got 300 educational videos out there. People will say, well, I don't want to give away my secrets. Well, I guess, if you only have those few things, then you might want to consider another path. But the key is get people interested in what you do, showcase what you do, and it'll attract the people you want to attract, and they'll pay you for it, and they'll respect you for it.
Absolutely. I think that's great, and I think that's so important, and it also leads me, my husband and I, we've published 9 books together, and he used to always say, you're going to tell them all of that, and it's like, don't worry, by the time the book's out, I'm going to change it all. We're going to do more. We're going to grow. We're going to do it different, you know? And so all the other guys were like trying to keep catching up, so it's funny out there. But the other thing I wanted to mention is I think one of the biggest faux pas I think businesses make is they're trying to reach specific goals, and they're being unrealistic with their database, and they're being unrealistic with the amount of leads that they're generating to convert those into results. So how important is it, we talked about finances, how important is it for a business owner to say, this is my goal, identify my cost of goods, break it down into a number, identify how many numbers I need to close, and if they're closing everybody, if you're closing everybody you're talking to, your price point is wrong, so you need to talk to Steve about that because he'll help you with that. But how many people do I need to talk to close those people to reach my goals? Or do I just throw it up against the wall and hope that something sticks? You know, that doesn't work. So how important is it to know those numbers and to analyze how many leads you need to generate on a consistent basis?
Yeah, and if I could, just for 1 second, say one more thing about what we were just talking about.
Absolutely.
I love that question. Talking about giving away information, I have a great friend, Mitch Levin, that says something. He says, you know what? I can show you how to do heart surgery. I can tell you every step. It's really not a hard, difficult thing. You cut the chest open, you spread it. Everybody kind of knows how to do it. No one's going to do it themselves. They're going to hire someone to do it for them. Thank goodness, you know? So, but anyway, your database. Yes, you have to know your goal. I had lunch with a mortgage broker today, and I said, okay, she wants to do, 5 figures in business every month. She wants to do this. She wants to, she wants to do 5-figure in business. We started breaking down the numbers. How many applications? How many closings is that a month? Okay, so out of 100 people, how many applications do you get? What are your percentages? And if you don't know your numbers, you better go figure them out. Or have someone help you figure them out. It's quite simple. And then you got to figure, okay, if I got to meet 100 people a month to meet my goals, where are you going to meet them? Go ahead and schedule those things out. Put them in your calendar where you know. And good people, your groups are very good. I've been to them. The WOAMTEC groups, fantastic, energetic people. There's a lot of things out there that aren't not good, and I always tell people, I say, if you're the most successful person in the room, then I don't know if I would go network with that group anymore, because you need to be surrounding yourself with other people, right, that could use your help, that you can learn from, things like that. And I think that's one of the other time wasters a lot of people do, is they'll network with people that are not near as successful as they are, and, then you're going to get results based on that.
I think that's awesome. And I know that we can learn so much more from you, and I'm hoping that you're going to be one of our speakers at our 2015 National Conference. We're going to talk about that more.
Yeah.
You are giving away something today. You're giving away 15-minute brainstorming sessions and videos on your website. So what do they have to do to get those things? Yeah,
they can go to our website. Very simple. You can go see some of the videos we have on our website. If you go to rockyourbusinessnow.com, you can check out the videos there, see some of the things that we do, some of the crazy videos. There's some great funny ones on there and a lot of great education. Then we said, you know what? We want to just open it up. See, I love doing mastermind sessions and brainstorming sessions. So we said anybody that wants to do a 15-minute brainstorming session will get on the phone, email me, and they'll post the email on there, steve@rybnow.com. You email me.
RYB as in Rock Your Business.
rockyourbusinessnow.com, that's right. And we'll set up some 15-minute calls. And just brainstorm it. And you'll leave that call with ideas, and solutions and things you can start implementing right now, and lots of times I'll turn into more than 15 minutes, but, we'll go from there. And I'd love to do that with anybody out there that wants to do it. I'd love to see if I can help you out.
That is awesome, and that's so very sincere, and that just goes back to what I said, that somebody that is really authentic and wanting to help you and help you reach your goals and really be there to coach you through success and help you implement the things in your business that is going to be willing to help you for 15 minutes, because you've probably been there yourself. You've probably been at a point in your life, whether it be 10 years ago, 20 years, or 30 years, or whatever, that you needed somebody else's advice. I know I have some great mentors and some great people that have helped me through. So I had other things that I needed to end this segment with, but I kind of got dramatic and threw the piece of paper across the room. So I don't remember what those are. That's okay. I'm gonna do a little Jimmy Fallon here today. You don't have to throw that back at me. His program is called Rock Your Business. So I'm gonna make you take us out here today.
All right.
And I've been sitting here singing, I wanna I want to rock all day long, or like, I don't know, like you've
Wanna
got
rock
to
and
take
roll
us
all
out.
night.
Okay, you
Come
got
on.
to take us out with something. So give us something, how you're going to rock your business. You got to take us out with something.
You know, you have to realize that there's people out there working from their homes, making millions of dollars. There's kids. I read about a kid, 26 years old, sold his business for $4 million over in Brevard County, here in Florida. He started working out of his home, never had an office, never had a staff, created something. There's millions of people out there making billions of dollars. What they did that you might not be doing is they went for it. They took steps. They got help. They executed. Execution's the only thing that makes you money. And at some point, they stopped innovating and they took that step. And they went and executed and took steps to go forward and found the help they needed. And that's, you know, there's very small things that make businesses go from good to great. Very small things. But the first step can never happen until you go out there and execute. Make 2014, make 2015 your year. You can. It's right there if you take those steps and do it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Steve, for
Thanks
being
for
here
having me.
today.